So I invented the Ketones Diet, and then this was stolen off my computer by the Pakistanis. And I'm actually Jumbo's grandson, and Jumbo's head of Manchester United Football Club. So the football club own the Ketones Diet, and that's 9 billion, by the way. And then it was stolen by the Pakistanis, and they stolen 9 billion. And then they bought themselves a castle as well, and they're stolen it off Manchester United Football Club. For Manchester United football fans to go out there and take this money back, 9 billion Ketones Diet, and take the money back into the Manchester United hands, and then take it off the Pakistanis. The Pakistanis also are running McDonald's, the train services, schools, colleges, pubs, nightclubs, bank ATM machines. All of this is owned by Pakistanis. And then Manchester United to take customers of their companies, electronic shops, etc., and take their customers and keep and sell them and buy and sell them to make your money back. 9 billion the Pakistanis are stolen. So the Pakistanis own also all the main supermarkets, so their customers also to be taken as prisoners for stealing 9 billion off Jumbo, who's also Manchester United Football Club, Everton Football Club, Newcastle, Celtic, and Arsenal and Tottenham. So Manchester United had the Ketones Diet stolen off them, and that made 9 billion in about 12, 13, 14 years. And I'm the author of the Ketones Diet. My granddad is Jumbo. He heads Manchester United Football Club. All right, so now it was all stolen off Manchester United. All right, the 9 billion, and they do this right under our noses, right in our streets of England. They're the Dark Indians that stole it, and the hospitals, gays, Dark Indians and Africans, the Southport murderers, for instance, are the same group that have stolen the Ketones Diet off Manchester United. So also stolen the Ketones Diet is the council. They are McDonald's, KFC. They own the train services. They own all the large supermarkets. So they can be taken as prisoners for stealing 9 billion off Manchester United fans. So Manchester United to buy and sell people and make this money back any way you can using items from the Pakistani side. That is also corporation, the gay communities. The Pakistanis are led by a gay paedophiles group, and they're also the EU that's founded by 15 gay paedophiles, no heterosexuals in there at all, and that's the Pakistanis group. And then they've stolen my Ketones Diet. It's named after me. I'm a musician. I had another friend called Tones. She's a musician. She was also murdered by the group that stole the Ketones Diet. Named it after us as well. I'm a medic, also a herbologist, and a trained psychologist, and I'm put together a diet, and there it is. It's my Ketones Diet. It's my diet. It came out one month after I released, wrote papers and essays on my new diet and ingredient, plant sterols, and I'm using that to help women lose weight very fast and very cheaply. And then it was all stolen off me, off my computer by Pakistanis and the Muslims there. And they're not real Muslims either. They're with Africans that want to kill all Muslims. All right, so the Pakistanis are antigen to their own people as well, not just us and everyone else. They've stolen the Ketones Diet, 9 billion off Manchester United and off Jumbo. The Pakistani group then went on and bought themselves a castle with our money, the 9 billion. Right now, they're in EastEnders, you'll see the guy gets pushed off a castle wall. Well, this is actually a true story, and it's about this story, how the Ketones diet was stolen by a Pakistani group in the hospitals, and they've stolen it off Jumbo, who is a British king. He created the Ketones diet. He's a dietitian himself, a trained psychologist, and more. So it was all stolen, and there it is. There it was in EastEnders, and the guy gets pushed off the castle wall because he made that money, bought himself a castle using the money from Manchester United's Ketones diet, which was stolen. The Manchester United didn't receive a penny of the Ketones diet, yet it's named after me. I'm also a musician. All right, now for Manchester United to become very rich, I've given them this money over to Manchester United fans and football fans everywhere, and you to get your money back and keep what you earn. This is a Operation Recovery, and we're recovering 9 billion, which is a hell of a lot of money. 500 million times two is 1 billion. Right, 500 million times two is 1 billion, and 9 billion is what they're stolen off us, the Pakistanis. The sex grooming gangs, that lot, they've stolen 9 billion off Manchester United. Pakistanis are led by Sai Baba, a gay paedophile. Everyone knows that. It's well known. He's ousted. They ousted him from India. He's a fraud. Even so, he hates the Pakistanis today, right? And he's basically Central Africa, and he hates India and the whole of the West. Right, so he's a gay paedophiles group, and they've stolen the Ketones diet off Manchester United, and then they've stolen they've named the Ketones diet raspberry ketones diet. They're insinuating something. The raspberry ketones diet is called. All right, so they're insinuating something against musicians. Raspberry, they called it. All right, so gay paedophiles, Sai Baba is insinuating something and then stealing the whole diet after insinuating, and then that's 9 billion they've got now, and they've stolen it off Manchester United fans and Jumbo's family. I'm Jumbo's grandson, and I invented and created the ketones diet. I studied biology for 15 years, and I know a friend of mine who got blighted with obesity. Right, so it really hurt me, and I couldn't work out how she got this. But I then went in to discover and study obesity a lot more, and then I eventually came out with some very good ideas, and I created a diet based on a fat losing process, and I discovered how to do that inside the body using the acids inside there, and getting them into action is the all important part when it comes to losing weight. And my system and method, and then ingredients enhance this system where the acids burn your fat, right? And that's what I have, right? And I created that myself. And then I put essays out there on it, and the ingredient plant sterols, and then people will comfortably sit on this diet as well because appetite suppressant as well, and it then elicites the acids in your stomach, which then is a really serious fat burner, better than any synthetic stuff they've got out there, which is very, very dangerous. So then it gets to the hidden fat and difficult fat, and you can generally half your fat. This whole diet that I've got. So I created this diet. I then put it on my computer, and then it got hacked by the Pakistanis, the electronic shops, and then they created the raspberry ketones diet using my ingredients and my method, and they created 9 billion in 15 years, and they're about to create another 10 billion because it's now called a ketosis diet, and they've changed it slightly, and now the new fat jab is roughly the same method that I'm using, that I've created. They're using my method again. All right, so but that's different, right? I can't legally be attached to the jab there, but to the ketones diet, that's my diet. I'm Jumbo. Also, we're Manchester United, Everton Football Club as well, and obviously Blackpool. And we've had the Ketones Diet stolen off us. All right, stolen off our computer. They're calling us Raspberry when they're a gay paedophiles group. They're also the EU that's led by 15 gay paedophiles. So when they saw Raspberry, they're definitely talking about themselves 15 times as well. This Pakistani group that's stolen the Ketones Diet, well, their head once laid down in front of a 7-year-old boy and he masturbated right in front of him and came all over the place. And now he's head of pharmacy and created the Ketones Diet. He's stolen my Ketones Diet and named it the Raspberry Ketones Diet. He's insinuating something to the West. This gay paedophile, no girls allowed he is. Now, if you have girlfriends, he gets very angry. He starts calling you Raspberry all over the place. And even though your girlfriend, you're both over 18, he's still shouting this. There's no need for it. He's mentally unwell. They're mentally unwell and stolen my diet. All right, so now Manchester United to go and get that diet and money back immediately. That's your money if you're hungry and you need money. Well, you got an income right here. You just take anything and sell it. Take houses, people, cars, properties, computers, mobile phones, and operation recovery, and then just buy and sell it. So he comes in front of little boys, aged 7 years old, and he masturbates all over the place, right? And he's a 50-year-old, and he's head of the Pakistanis, and they're stolen the Ketones Diet off Manchester United after calling them Raspberry. Well, what for? Because we are interested in females and women. We have girlfriends. We've had girlfriends since we were young. I had girlfriend when I was underage. So do so many other people too. If you're lucky, then that's great. Then that's a great thing to have gone through. If you're slightly underage, no problem. Love, you're still able to love each other, and there are also couples that are underage, and that's fine. So now the gay paedophiles group, well, they're nailing little boys to the ground and snogging them, trying to anally rape them, putting them in 69, putting their cock in right next to their mouth, trying to sex groom them into oral sex. That's the kind of homosexuality we're talking about from the Pakistanis, with 5-year-old boys, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old boys. And then they called it the Raspberry Ketones Diet, stolen off Manchester United. And stolen because we're heterosexuals. We're lesbians and heterosexuals. We love women. And that's why we've had the ketones stolen off us. It's because we support and love women. So Manchester United to heterosexuals who don't like this suffocating gaydom, that's also stolen 9 billion off the fans of Manchester United. Now I've given my 9 billion to the fans of Manchester United and football fans. And you go out there and collect your money. If you're poor, this is a great opportunity for you. And also for all women out there that also have had the ketones diet stolen off them because they're a woman. They don't want women earning any money. And if this diet has been stolen off a heterosexual group that includes all the women. So the women out there, I want you to get involved, and I've given you 9 billion. You now go and make this money back in a cash and take, cash and carry situation. All right, so yeah, I knew when basically my friend Casey, she was a normal sized girl, and then she suddenly gained a lot of weight, even though she doesn't eat too much. So this really bemused me, and I already studying biology for about 10 years at this point. And then I saw that Katie had put on loads of weight, and she doesn't eat too much. So I was really bemused, like medically, biologically, I couldn't work out what had occurred. So I looked right into this, yeah. and I'd made a lot of discoveries. First of all, the first thing I discovered was that in your sunblock there is petrol, right? Benzene, that's crude oil, and then there's also synthetic estrogens. And synthetic estrogens causes obesity. All right. So once that goes in your bloodstream, it makes you store fat, and then that's what weight gain and obesity is all about. So when I discovered this, I was highly shocked, disgusted, and then immediately went in to make an antidote for this. Yeah, to create a cure and a remedy. Right, because I studied the medicine man and medicine from all around the world, and I I then discovered uh, that I needed to get the acids going inside your body, and I knew how to do that using specific herbology items, and then just using that and a cheap method as well, very accessible. And then this gets in. Once this gets going, I said this would be the best diet in the world. Certainly, it's better than all the other diets out there in the last 15 years. I said this when I first brought it out, and then it went on the Ketones Diet to become the best diet in the world, a best-selling diet for 15 years, and it still is the best-selling diet. All right. So now I realised this when I created it that it would be it's definitely better than the other diets. And I got the ingredient, and then the ketones diet ingredient is the same ingredient as mine. It's a plant sterol. I tasted it and tried it myself. The ketones diet. It's exactly the same as my diet. All right, so they've stolen it off Manchester United, and now Manchester United is poor, and they now have to go out and get that money when they're actually rich. Now, the Pakistanis that stolen the ketones diet, Pakistanis also own all the properties. They own all the pubs, McDonald's, the nightclubs, the colleges and schools. They're running the colleges and schools. The Pakistanis are. They're mocking transsexuals right now. All right, so now they also run the councils, and the Pakistanis are also stolen the train services. So anyone using the train services has stolen the ketones diet off Manchester United fans. So Manchester United, you're owed 9 billion, and that's a lot of money. And you're now to make this money back in Operation Recovery, take it back from the Pakistani and their their associate groups there and companies over and out. And they also run Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Asda, and all the main supermarkets are also run by Pakistani groups. And they're Sai Barber. For instance, Sainsbury's is Sai and C-B-U-R and Y. Sainsbury's. All right, so that's a dark Indian gay paedophile that's stolen the ketones diet off Manchester United. So I'm the author of the Ketones Diet, and now in about 2014, I was in a hospital getting refuge because they threatened the Bangladeshi threatened to firebomb my flat. So I got out into hospital, and there when I was in a car park. Uh, a guy working in the hospital was in the other side of the car park and he aimed a rifle gun at me. Right, so now this guy who was aiming a gun, he's definitely in the group that have stolen the ketones diet, and they're in the hospitals. All right, and they're the Pakistanis there, right? And they've stolen the diet and they're threatening to kill me. They've tried to kill me using medications as well. I've got a psychiatrist now who's desperately trying to stop me, and he knows that he's stolen a whole load of money, and that even in EastEnders they depict him being pushed off a building because he's stolen the ketones diet off Manchester United and the football world and off women because we're heterosexuals, and it's the gays that have stolen the ketones diet, called it a raspberry ketones diet. The gay community has stolen that off Manchester United. Well, this is how Manchester United owns properties as well. The Pakistanis are literally, they've stolen all the properties in England. They are the head landlord. That's why everyone's homeless. Pakistanis won't allow them to live in British accommodation anymore. They're using all the clauses in the accommodation process and making it impossible for British to get into their own houses. And it's organised by Pakistanis. All right, that they own the properties too. So when the Pakistanis steal 9 billion off the British and Manchester United, well, you just take back your properties and sell them and make your money back because these properties are owned by the Pakistani groups that have stolen 9 billion off Manchester United, and this is how Manchester United owns a lot of property. But just got to go and take it. You own all the best properties in Manchester, for instance. It's all owned by Manchester United now. We basically bought it and took it off them because it's owed. You see, 9 billion is 500 million times two is 1 billion. That all the properties involved are lots to be taken back off the Pakistanis, who are the head landlord to all the properties out there. They also own and stolen electronic industries, all the mobile phones and the computers and laptops and TVs and electronics, all being stolen by Pakistani groups. Look at their electronic shops. Nobody's British working there. Nobody German. Nobody Western. Nobody European there. It's just a bunch of rats that have stolen it all because they're homosexuals and then there are no girls allowed, whereas the West we allow women. And now they've stolen everything off the hosting countries, including the Ketones Diet. They're stolen by Pakistani in those electronic shops. Those electronic shops are led by Jay, a gay paedophile masturbating in front of 7-year-old boys that he made them naked, and he's oral sexing them and sticking his cock right next to their mouth, grooming them for oral sex, and they're only 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And he's head of all these Pakistani electronic shops that's stolen the Ketones Diet off Manchester United, off British people.